time to talk about Manchester United. They're playing tonight in the Cup, the FA Cup, 5th round against Nottingham Forest. And we're going to focus now specifically on Marcus Rashford. Before we get Perry's thoughts, here's talkSPORT's Ali McCoist, who believes that Rashford needs a fresh challenge.
I actually think the way things are looking, it's not only Manchester United's best interest, I think it's in Marcus Rashford's best interest.
Move on?
Yeah.
Do you?
There's not, listen, what a talent. Excellent. When he's playing well and he's happy and he's focused, different class. But you are not going to tell me that if you look at Marcus Rashford right now, the body language tells you everything you need to know. He is not happy, and you might talk about a fallout with Ten Hag, or you might talk about this, that and the next thing, but the fact of the matter is Marcus Rashford just doesn't look happy.
Ali McCoist and Al Brazil on talkSPORT Breakfast this morning. Perry Groves with us now in the studio. Do you agree with Ali? Is it time for Rashford, or would you like to see it come good once more?
Who's going to take him? Who's going to take Marcus Rashford?
He surely gets a good move.
Where? Honestly, where does he get in Arsenal's team? No. Mikel Arteta doesn't take him because he doesn't work hard enough off the ball. I know people skirt around it. Marcus Rashford is lazy. And I know that Coisty said there, he's not happy, whatever. I'm not a fan. Have a bit of a reality check. It's not just the money, right? It's not just the money. Footballers are being paid to do. It's not a job. It's something that you love. It's something when you're a kid that you grow up and you think, I'd love to be a professional footballer. How many of the population go to work? What's the percentage of go to work and actually love what they do? You're in a very, very privileged position. So whether, people do have off-field problems. I'm not saying don't, because obviously footballers are human beings. There's different issues. 100% I get that. And if that's the case, then obviously you've got to address those issues. But his body language, of course, is right. There's no excuse for... I don't think there's an excuse for being lazy. Mm-hmm. World-class players aren't lazy. World-class players don't not close down. World-class players don't not track back wherever you play. So if you think, does he get in Liverpool's team? 100% no. Does he get Man City's team? 100% no. Does he get in Arsenal's team? No. Even Spurs, the way that Spurs play, which is on the front foot closing down, and you've got to equate his wage has to come into it. It's reported, we don't know if he exaggerated, £350,000 a week. I think if I was a manager going in there, I would try and get rid of Marcus Rashford, or you'd sit him down and say, right, it's a clean slate, this is where we start, but you have got to work, because if you don't, you're a liability. There
was some really terrible footage of him going around a couple of weeks ago. Can't remember the game, but it just showed how lazy he was in that performance. You'll have seen it on TikTok, on Instagram. Just not pressing, not working, not tracking back, all of the thing, not even running, just wandering around, looking like he could have been anywhere else. And I always feel that I back Marcus Rashford and I love him and I want him to be great again at Manchester United. He's a Manchester boy. I think he's done the right things in the past. I think he's having a tough time. And you mentioned off-field issues. Sure. Perhaps there is something that has to be considered. But I think if that is going on, then he also has to really step away and focus and being better for himself so his football comes good again. For now, we're just looking and going, there's nothing really that you're given to show that you deserve to be wearing a Manchester United top.
Yeah, but also from Erik ten Hag's point of view, what happens is if you indulge those sort of players, then that just drips down through the other team. I mentioned about Arteta with Aubameyang. Yeah. And Aubameyang was obviously the star player. Then he started turning up late. He started, actually went great in training. And then what happens is, if you're a manager and you go for one of the big players, that sends a powerful message to the rest of your players, because there's reports coming out allegedly that players are treated differently. Like it's easy to punish the younger players than the senior players. So, and it's so frustrating because Marcus Rashford, the worry that you would have is the talent that he has when he gets to 30, 32, 33, you don't be looking back and thinking, I haven't got the best out of myself here. That would be the biggest tragedy. Dele Alli is a brilliant example at Spurs, and obviously been well documented with Dele's off-field problems as well, which no one knew about. So he was getting them sorted out, which is brilliant. But then you just look back and you think, that's one of the sort of cardinal sins, that you waste a natural talent.
The United summer transfer business is going to be quite incredible, because I think there's about 5 players there. There's a handful of players who go, you absolutely keep. You keep Kobbie Mainoo, you keep Garnacho, Hoyland, Martinez and Scott McTominay, because he's all heart and he's your super sub, right? There's so many other players in that Manchester United squad you can go, actually you could do without. Bruno Fernandes comes into question quite a lot, not only for his captaincy, his leadership, how he represents himself on the pitch. Would you keep or sell Bruno?
Get rid of him in a heartbeat. I've said it.
Perry.
I've said it for probably 2 seasons, maybe, when he was made captain. You remember the Liverpool game when they got beat 7?
Yeah.
And he's the captain.
Tragic.
And all he's doing is he's playing with his shin pads, he's looking around, not paying eye contact, not getting angry with anybody. And again, no one obviously doubts his talent, but I actually think that he's a bit of a sort of a flat track bully, to be fair, because his numbers this season on his goal involvements and in per minute is the worst it's been since he's been there in 5 years. So
when he's good, he's good. When he's good, he's great. I suppose you could say that about a lot of Manchester United players. It's not consistent.
Again, but against who?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen like him take the big game by the scruff of the neck and go, right, he's the one who's controlling that game? And then again, it's another one where the talent that he has, he doesn't want. And the reason that teams break through Manchester United very easily, and to move, Casemiro's legs have gone, so you got Mainu next to him, but Bruno Fernandes comes into that because they're the ones that set off the press first, and then they're the ones that recover. And if you're don't want to recover, then your team is completely exposed. So there is that we mentioned about Arteta. There is so much wrong at Manchester United on the playing side and the culture.
I know.
It's a huge, huge job whoever goes in there.
And you wonder what's next with the partial takeover and Sir Jim Ratcliffe. It feels like a lot of the right noises are being made now. But they've got Forest in the FA Cup tonight. They're away for that game. How do you see Manchester United getting on? And how do you predict this game going, Perry?
It depends what sort of tide Nuno Espirito Santo puts out. Because under him, Forest become more of a goal threat. They've scored 11 their 12 games in all comps under Nuno, but Manchester United have been better away from home. They've won the last 5 on the trot, scoring 14 goals. And what they in the FA Cups, individual brilliance can get you out of trouble, and that's what's been happening with Manchester United. Because you look at Manchester United, really, there's no sort of structure or philosophy. Even the games that they've been winning, then it's a bit of individual brilliance that have got them out of trouble. McTominay's come on and saved. That against Brentford, for instance, where he scores 2 after 90 minutes. So I can see this going to extra time and penalties again.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.